it's overwhelming. You need one person who can't walk away from it to talk to a second person who thinks, well, that's not a bad idea. And quite quickly, it builds up from there.
The Metropolitan Waste and Resource Recovery Group started the project off in 2013. And in that time, we've run 35 funded litter prevention projects around the catchment. It's really important that we work collaboratively because everything's connected. What happens up in a shopping centre on a street, the litter can go into a drain, down to the river and ends up in the ocean. The person in the shopping centre might not even realise that.
Just looking at the amount of litter on Wader Beach when we began it's overwhelming. Try to raise awareness across the community that litter is a problem, and you can find people in all walks of life who will join you in your activities. We applied for a grant from the Metropolitan Waste and Resource Recovery Group, and we were successful to do our survey and to work out what the litter was and where it was coming from.
Best practice litter prevention is based on 3 pillars. The first is really good infrastructure and service provision. The second is education and engagement. And the third part is enforcement of laws. Behaviour is contextual. What that means is that if a place looks really bad, you have no respect for it. You don't treat it very well. If something looks and feels clean and looks looked after and looks loved, you're much more inclined to have your behaviour in sync with that. So we say in the business, clean equals clean.
Our project is called Operation Binfrastructure, or Bin Infrastructure, and the goal of the project is to reduce cigarette butt litter from going into our waterways. So we partnered with universities and hospitals to install 60 cigarette butt bins around those locations. So we've seen a drastic reduction in the number of cigarette butts that are littered on the grounds around these sites. We've also had the opportunity to demonstrate that recycling cigarette butts is possible, and so we've broadened that out, and we are now recycling cigarette butts from all 367 bins in our municipality.
By working together, people can contribute their skills and abilities, capacity. They can share ideas, they can share communications and events together, so they can really leverage off each other's activities.
We surveyed a group of students and discovered that only 37% of them actually believed that platypus lived in the Diamond Creek. We involved a group of students to paint areas of the skate park to highlight the movement of litter in and out of drains, and to highlight the platypus as being an animal that lives in the Diamond Creek and that is impacted by litter that flows into the Diamond Creek. We've had about a 20% decrease in litter count since the project.
It's been really great to see the Litter Hotspots Program and what's been achieved. There have been a number of successes, the networks that have been established, the partnerships, the sharing of information that's been going on over the last 3 years. It's just been phenomenal. And in this sharing, that a lot of new issues have emerged. For example, microplastics. We wouldn't have known about this problem if it wasn't for one of the project partners doing the research and coming to the networks and sharing their information that we've been able to share with government as well.
Community organisations are much more connected than they have been previously, but the other massive change is the cross-sectoral collaborations and relationships that have been formed between community organisations and government agencies.
With Melbourne's population growing, and that means our waste is growing as well, what we're doing now is setting the bay up for the future, setting it up for future generations to enjoy.